Earlier last year, I put $1,000 onto Yotta for a month and wanted to show you how much money I would actually make from putting it into the Yotta Saving platform. And a couple months later, I did the exact same thing with $10,000 and showed you the results on that as well. But in this video, I'm gonna share with you exactly how much APY I made for an average savings of $1,000 on the platform for the entire year. And so you'll see exactly what dollar amount and APY that I received while doing so. So like I mentioned before, my average savings in that account was around $1,000. I did have my first 2 months be zero and a couple other months that were maybe a couple $100, and then the 1 month where I had 10,000 on the platform. So my average was just around $1,000, and mostly I use it as a sort of like savings and checking account where I take money in and out in order to invest with it. I know many of you guys that use Yotta use it as an emergency savings account that you'd like to build up and then hold maybe 6 to 12 months of your emergency savings in that account. But my emergency savings is just the plain old silver bars that I own, and we can talk about that more in a future video. But the first 2.5 months on this journey, I didn't have any money on the platform, but what I did have is a couple of referrals. So my highest APY shows as like 5,770,000%, but obviously that wasn't my yearly APY, and it will average down to something more reasonable in just a second. So the grand total of saving 12 months on the platform, or just even keeping just $1,000 in there, yielded me a total of $63.96, and that is including 6 total referrals on the platform as well. That $63.96 means we earned a total of 6.3% APY for the entire year, which I have to admit is pretty cool. The closest APY that any physical bank can offer here is right around 0.1% at my local credit union. And not only that, but it also has a limitation where you have to have a minimum deposited of $2,500 to even receive that tiny little bit of interest. The obvious and sad part about all of this is that the Yotta Savings account beats out any credit union or bank by an absolute landslide. But also, if I kept my money at a local credit union, I would be losing to last year's inflation by over 6%. Meanwhile, my Yotta Savings account pretty much matched the inflation rate of last year. And not only that, but if I use the debit card for purchases, I might have even gotten some purchases absolutely covered by Yotta's new debit card. If you want to see a full in-depth video on that, that is coming soon. So make sure to subscribe and also like this video if you like content like this. But all I can say is so far, I've absolutely loved using Yotta, and I plan to use them for the absolute foreseeable future. I may even consider sometime this year or the next replacing all of my physical banks with just Yotta, besides my credit cards, of course. But I'd love to hear from you, and you tell me if you use Yotta or if you've ever considered using Yotta, why or why not. And if you do use it, I'd love to hear how much APY you made last year as well. I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace out.